Thank you so much for your time. This is very quick, and this interview is about, of course, the fight for the May the 4th between Canelo and Munguía, and you fought both. So
Yeah.
we need your experience and all your experience about these Mexican fighters.
Well, firstly, what a great event for Mexico. Um, Fight between two Mexican super middleweights. Obviously, Munguia, a former champion light middleweight, and Sal Canelo Alvarez, a multi-weight champion, and undisputed at 168. And yeah, I think a great fight for Mexico first and foremost. A great fight for the super middleweight division, but a real fan favorite. The styles will gel well. Obviously, my experience with Canelo was over nearly a year ago now. Um, a lot of time has passed, and I feel like that fight really had a long term effect on me in my standings moving forward. I feel like it took a lot out of me. Um, I feel like I thought mentally it gave me the best experience to go forward, but physically took a lot out of my body and probably aged me quite a bit.
Okay, what do you think, Mr. Ryder, was will be the correct way that Munguia need to do or the metaphor to get the best for this fight?
I think Munguia is a very capable fighter. I think he's made great improvements under Freddie Roach. I think if you look at Munguia when he fought Derevyanchenko compared to when he fought me, the improvements he made was huge. Um, I think he needs to be busy but be smart. He doesn't need to throw too much. He needs to be sensible. He needs to be patient, and he needs to pick his shots well because Sal is very patient. He doesn't waste any shots at all. He picks everything. He's punch perfection. He's a great fighter. He's very patient, and I think Jaime needs to somewhat mirror what Canelo does.
Um, Canelo versus Ryder, in my opinion, was a close fight. Munguia versus Ryder was more open fight. What do you expect between Canelo and Munguia? It's open fight. It's a close. Will be a closer fight.
I think it will be a close fight. I think Canelo is aging like myself. He's getting older. He's not getting any younger. Whereas Munguia is still in his youth as such, 27, 28. Um, not too many hard fights, not too many wars, not too many miles on the clock, and younger and fresher.
Okay, and talking about the punch, who's who's bigger punch, Canelo or Munguia?
It's a strange comparison. Canelo is more like FUD, whereas as Munguia is very sharp, like quick lightning. So it all depends. I know Canelo had me over once, and Munguia had me over four times, but I think it was a different. Munguia was fighting a different fighter to Canelo was fighting, if that makes sense. Nearly a year on, um, not so much resistance there in my body, that's for sure.
Of course, makes sense. And for you, who's toughest? Who's more like stone?
Well, I think for me, Canelo. We stood there and we exchanged blows for 12 rounds, and it didn't look like he could be budged. But for Jaime, he seems like he can be hurt, but he recovers well and he comes back swinging. And I think, like I said, I think the Mexican fans are in for a real treat. I think there's going to be a lot of brains, but at some point, a lot of bravado will come into it, and the fans will get the fight they really want.
So you fought both. Um, who's who's more difficult in all the way in the physique, in the mental, in the way he developed in the ring, inside the ring? Who's harder to fight with?
I think Canelo's harder to fight with. He's very there's many ways to Canelo. He can box you defensive, he can box you offensive. He gives you the feints. You think he's going to he throws something out here and comes up the middle. He's very, very cunning and very smart with his feet adjustments, and the shots he throws. Whereas Jaime is more, what you see is what you get. He's fit, he's strong. He'll come at you. He'll be side to side. He's there to be hit, but he's very high volume and just plans on grinding you down and outworking you.
So, Mr. Ryder, do you have like a friend relationship with Munguía or with Canelo, or do you like to be a friend of one of those guys?
I don't have any relationships with either. They're both cool guys. I mean, you fight someone, you share a bond. 12 rounds with Canelo, it's a few less with Munguía, but listen, for me, there's no bad blood. This is strictly business. You win some, you lose some. I was unfortunate to lose both to these great fighters, but still both great men.
In the way of business, there's a lot of or opinions and a lot of people talking about Munguía and Canelo. Do you think, Mr. Ryder, this is the best fight for business and for fans, or maybe Canelo Benavides was a better option?
Potentially. I mean, I think the Mexican fans are they're happy that Canelo is fighting another fellow Mexican, and this would have been great if it was Benavides, but the next best thing is Jaime Munguía. I think obviously Canelo has made his opinions clear that Benavides is not too big on the weigh-in, but in fight night he'll be 25, 30 pound heavier and feels it's an unfair advantage, and rightly so. Benavides is the Mexican monster for a reason, and on fight night he's often twice the size of the opponents.
So for you is the correct order Canelo, Munguía, and then receive to Benavides in this equation?
Yeah, I mean, I don't understand the politics with Canelo and Benavides as why they don't want to make the fight, but I think with Canelo moving to PBC, this was the simple option to make Benavides and make these fights. But for me as a fan, I'm happy to see him fighting Munguía. I think it's a great fight. And hopefully somewhere down the line we can see the Benavides fight. But I think the Benavides fight needs to happen in Mexico.
Benavides fight needs to happen in Mexico.
Yeah.
Okay. For you, who's better boxer? Benavides or Munguía?
So for me, Munguía. I feel like Benavides is so big, and so I almost feel like he's not a true 168 fighter. He should be a 175 fighter. Could be very dominant, very big. I feel like he loses his punch power and all his natural attributes getting down to 168, and probably that shows in his performances. I know he had a great win recently, but I think over the period he's been at 168, he's often had tougher performances than they needed to be. But I think Munguía is gone up through the weights from 154 to 168 now, and he's producing the goods, and he's improving all the time.
Mr. Ryder, so you think Benavides is better in 165, in 175, and Canelo and Munguía it's okay in 168?
Yeah, I think Benavides is a true 175 fighter. I think he could be dominant at light heavyweight and potentially move on to be a good cruiserweight. I think his future should be with the likes of Bivol and Beterbiev. I think he's too big for 168. I don't think he's getting the best out of himself in performances, and I feel like that's where his future should lie.
So we talk about Munguía. For you, Munguía is better than Benavides, and for the show, this is the correct order first Munguía, and then let's see what will happen. Do you have or what could be the clue for both fighters, the clue for Canelo and the clue for Munguía to get the victory on May the 4th?
I think for Canelo, he just needs to be smart and do what he does. He dictates the pace. He can slow the pace. He can set you up. He makes you throw shots you don't want to throw. And his counter punching is spot on. Whereas Munguia is very, what he does is very basic and simple, but he's very effective. He's very fit and he's very strong, and he uses his fitness and strength well for himself. He throws a lot of shots. He stays very busy and very active, and this can rack up the rounds. Whereas Canelo needs to be smart and be dominant and really try and put a dent in Munguia early to slow him down.
Do you want to assist to the fight on May the 4th?
Sorry?
Do you want to assist to the fight to Las Vegas to go to?
I would love to assist in Vegas, yeah.
And you have a favorite?
The favorite, I mean, when I first turned pro, I was a fan of Canelo long before I ever boxed him. So I'm a big fan of Canelo. But I mean, like I say, when you share the ring with people, you kind of share a bond with them. So I wish them both all the happiness and health.
So you were a fan. So you were a Canelo fan.
Yeah, I've been a Canelo fan for a long time. I remember sitting there when he boxed Ryan Rhodes, Matthew Hatton, a lot of the early stuff. So I think this was before I'd even had a professional fight. So Canelo has been on my radar for a very long time.
So this is very fun and very, very interesting because here in Mexico, Canelo splits people.
I
So
know, yeah.
it's one love, and for the rest, don't like Canelo. So it's very interesting that a champ, a British champ, said that I'm a fan of Canelo because Mexican people, some fans says that Canelo is not a good fighter and he's a liar or he's just a bag. And what could you say to all Mexican that don't think that Canelo is a good fighter?
I think, I mean, personally, if I was a Mexican, I might have a different opinion. But I think for myself, watching on, Canelo's been a great fighter over the years. He's fought at many different weights, he won titles, and he's fought the best fighters. He boxed Mayweather when Mayweather seemed unstoppable. He lost that fight, but he showed how you can regroup and rebuild and still come on and achieve your dreams and be a very good champion. Again, he lost to Bivol. And again, he's shown it. You can come back and you can still be this great fighter.
In the least pound for pound, Mr. Ryder, uh, or is there Canelo is in your 10 pound for pound boxers in top 10?
Yeah, top five for sure.
Top five. Who's your top one?
I would say for me currently is Terence Crawford.
Terence Crawford, the second.
I'd really toss up between Inoue and Canelo there.
That's your top three. Crawford, Inoue, and Canelo, or Crawford, Canelo, Inoue.
Yeah, Crawford is definitely number one, but number two, Inoue, Canelo, number two and three for sure.
Munguía is in your top 10 pound for pound?
Yeah, I would put him there, yeah.
If Munguía get the victory and May the 4th, of course, the place it's for the first places.
I mean, for me, if Munguia gets his victory on the 4th of May, then this is This is huge for boxing. It's huge for Mexican history. Has there ever been two Mexicans fight for undisputed before?
Thank you so much, Mr. Ryder. Thank you for your time, for this talk. And a last opinion that you think I missed for around this Canelo Munguía, some like you want to say to the Mexican people around this great fight, because this is the biggest fight in the Mexican boxing era, because there's never a fight for the four titles. This
Yeah.
is the first undisputed title in the history between Mexicans. So this is very important for us, and it's great talking with you about this topic.
No, thank you. For me, it's great to talk to you as well. This is a great fight for the Mexican fans and Mexico in general. I think you're in for a treat on May 4th. I think you're going to see everything left in the ring on that fight. In my head, I'm going to go with Canelo, just with experience, but I expect a close, hard battle.
Thank you so much, Mr. Ryder. And your favorite?
Listen, I'm like I said, I've been a fan of Canelo for many, many years, and that still remains. But I still have a place in my heart for Jaime Munguía.
Is there a knockout or judges?
I think it's the judges. I think I have read that Canelo wants to look for an early knockout, but I think for me the judges will be needed, and good judges.
Okay, thank you so much. Let me ask to Canelo if he had a special ticket for you, sir.
Thank you very much. Please do.
Thank you so much. Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much, and good luck for the Gunners to
Oh,
your
thank you very much.
Arsenal.
Take care. Thank you.
I hope to see you soon. Thank you so
Thank you
much,
very
Mr.
much.
Ryder.
Thank you.
La magia del boxeo surge cada que golpeo, noqueo a los que sean solo